Hey guys, I'm coming to you from my home office during our national quarantine time. I'd like to share a brief tutorial on an explorative annotated bibliography assignment that I present to my students. One of the things I like about this particular assignment is how it helps students get outside of that persuasive writing and really work with resource material in a larger way. And another thing that I like to do is help them get out of plagiarizing, which is something I notice them do all the time. This brief tutorial and assignment will highlight what an evaluative annotated bibliography is. It will take you through the page setup basics, review the two main sections to include this being the statement of scope and the annotated bibliography itself, and lastly, it will offer insights on organization with respect to responsible note-taking and rhetoric. Here are some page setup basics to keep in mind. Following MLA formatting, your name, course information, and date go in this top left corner. Your last name and page number go in the header on the right margin. Your statement of scope and annotated bibliography titles are centered in their respective sections. And lastly, your citation uses a hanging indent, which carries over to your annotations, as illustrated in the example to your right. Next are organizational strategies. Remember to include the in-text citation details like page or paragraph numbers so you don't have to find these again while writing the research essay. Briefly summarize each source to offer full context and the main points of the source, which later will become useful when you're writing your research essay. Consider the rhetorical situation when annotating your sources. From where did this research come and why does it inform your research? Make clear distinctions throughout your notes as to whose ideas you refer. Use signal phrases to distinguish this at all times. This minimizes potential plagiarism when it's essay time. Paraphrase whenever possible to regulate the tone of your annotations and later the tone of your research essay. Whether paraphrasing or directly quoting, remember to credit the source properly. Again, this keeps you from possible plagiarism. In addition to summarizing the key points in each source, you're going to want to establish who these people are who conducted this research or maybe just presented the information that you're looking at. This will help you establish the ethos and credibility of this source material, but it will also remind you the importance of working closely with the resource material and getting out of that persuasive type of writing. The second close-up shows you an example of using the signal phrasing that lets you and your readers know at all times this information came from the study or came from these sources or came from these authors. And this is your opportunity also, as you can see in this second example, that you include the page number where you found this information and any statistics and other things that you think may or may not be usable when you do sit down to write the essay. And then this final slide close-up gives you a little bit closer of a look at what to do with your own evaluation and assessment. So get in here in your notes and talk about what you notice, what you might use in your possibly use in your research essay, and so you don't forget, but also use that signal phrasing in these annotations that remind you this came from my thoughts, not from the sources. So if you notice in this last slide, you see, I should note a negative. This, despite the treatments, this language that shows you these are my thoughts on this topic. Thanks for following me all the way through this tutorial. I hope you find the information I shared helpful.